Barcelona sets their sights on a top Premier League striker. Is Newcastle losing a star? Dybala has already chosen his new Premier League club, and Liverpool is ready to sign the future leader of their defense. Who is this defender? All that right now, 350 likes, and a new episode drops tomorrow. The Luis Diaz situation is starting to feel like a TV series with unexpected plot twists. Liverpool are looking for ways to strengthen their squad while also considering who they could sell for a good price, and that's where the Colombian winger comes into the picture. Diaz's season has been, to put it mildly, inconsistent. 12 goals and 3 assists in 33 matches. Not a disaster, but far from elite goalscorer numbers, especially when you remember how explosive his start in the Premier League was. It seemed like he was going to be Liverpool's new attacking engine. But lately, his output has dropped and the club needs a refresh. And that's when Barcelona step in. The Catalans have been keeping an eye on Diaz for a while, but here's the question. How do they plan to sign him? But hey, it's Barcelona. Believing in their ability to pull off the impossible has already become a tradition. Wages? They can be postponed. No money? They'll figure something out. How? Nobody knows. But apparently, they really want Diaz. Liverpool, on the other hand, are open to letting him go if the right offer comes along. And besides Barcelona, 2 more contenders have entered the race. The Saudis, as always, are ready to shower him with cash, while Juventus are hoping to lure him in with their prestige and history. So, who will sign Luis Diaz? If he picks Barcelona, he'll be joining a club where even the manager's future is uncertain. Will he be a key player there? Most likely. With his dribbling and ability to take on defenders one-on-one, he could add a new dimension to Barca's attack. If, of course, they can even register him. Yes, that's not a joke. That's the harsh reality of Barcelona's financial struggles. Al Nassr, that's a simple equation. A huge paycheck, little competition, but also a league that's nowhere near the Premier League's level. Would Diaz be willing to trade elite football for financial security? Some players have already shown that it's a perfectly logical choice. Juventus. Now, that's more interesting. The old lady is looking for a new attacking leader, and Diaz could be a great fit for Italian football. But can Juve afford this transfer? That's a big question. And most importantly, who will Liverpool bring in as his replacement? If they let their winger go, it's only logical to expect a big signing in return. Maybe we'll see a new superstar in a red shirt soon. For now, the mystery remains unsolved. Where do you think Luis Diaz will go? Drop your thoughts in the comments and let us know how you see his potential transfer. Well folks, if someone had said last summer that a defender bought for £12.6 million would take the entire Premier League by storm, they would have been laughed at. But here he is, Dean Huijsen, the 19-year-old Spaniard who hasn't just justified Bournemouth's investment, but made them look like the club's best investors of the year. 2 goals, rock-solid defending, and the Cherries sitting 7th in the table. But the biggest talking point? His release clause. A £55 million buyout option is in his contract, meaning this summer he could blow up the transfer market. So who's ready to pay? Here's your list of contenders. Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool. Basically, half the Premier League has already recognized Dean Huijsen not just as a talent, but as a long-term investment. Tottenham, Newcastle, Aston Villa, also in the queue. And from Europe, Atletico, Inter, and Bayern, who are rumored to be particularly keen on the young defender. Juventus didn't sell Dean because they wanted to. They were forced to, due to financial issues. But the people in Turin aren't stupid. They secured a 10% sell-on clause, meaning if Dean Huijsen is indeed sold for £55 million, Juve will pocket a free £5.5 million. Not a bad deal. Now, on to the real drama. Liverpool, who were already interested in the defender before his move to Bournemouth, could now make their move. Arne Slot will definitely need a reliable centre-back, and signing a 19-year-old talent seems like a tempting idea. The only question is the price. Will the Reds be willing to spend big on him? Or will they look for a more affordable option? But then again, would missing out on Huijsen a second time be a bit too much of a luxury? Especially considering Van Dijk is already 33 and Liverpool need to plan for the future. Learning from a legend, adapting to the top level, and becoming a defensive pillar in a couple of years. Sounds like a perfect plan, but will Liverpool actually go for it? And if not Liverpool, then who? Chelsea? They're hoarding young talents faster than teenagers swap iPhones. Arsenal? Maybe, but with their striker problems, priorities could shift. Tottenham? Ange Postecoglou definitely wants to strengthen his defense. Long story short, the race for Dean Huysen has begun, and this spring promises a fierce battle for the Spaniard's signature. So, who do you think will snatch him up this summer? Will Liverpool take the risk, or will someone else drop a suitcase full of cash? Drop your thoughts in the comments, share your opinion, and don't forget to smash that like button to support the channel. For now, we keep watching soon. We'll find out who grabs this golden ticket. According to Fichajes, Newcastle have set their sights on Dybala and are ready to trigger his release clause. And the price difference? Absolutely insane. For Italian clubs, he costs 20 million euros, but for foreign clubs, just 12 million euros. So, for the price of an average championship signing, you can get one of the most technically gifted players in Europe. Deal of the century, or is something off here? Let's not forget, Dybala joined Roma from Juventus in 2022. At the time, it seemed like a step backward, but in reality, Paolo has proven he hasn't lost his touch. Last season, he scored 18 goals and provided 9 assists, solid numbers for a 31-year-old, and most importantly, he still plays beautiful football. Newcastle have been searching for an attacking midfielder who can link midfield and attack. Given their injury issues and lack of squad depth, Dybala would definitely help. But let's be honest, he's not about high pressing and insane Premier League tempo. He thrives on comfort, space, and intelligent passing. So the real question is, will he fit into Newcastle's style? And is he even willing to take on this challenge? By the way, this isn't the first time Dybala has been linked with a move to the Premier League. Manchester United were once interested, and Chelsea rumours have surfaced before as well, but every time, the Argentinian found a reason to stay in Italy. Last year, there were even talks about a move to Saudi Arabia, but Dybala turned down the gold-stuffed suitcases and chose to stay in European football. And now he's at another crossroads: stay in the comfort of Roma or take the risk and move to England. Of course, if a bigger club than Newcastle enters the race, things will get even more interesting. Imagine if a Champions League contender like Liverpool or Arsenal suddenly remembers Dybala is still ridiculously good. That could spell trouble for Newcastle. And the player himself, he might prefer a club fighting for trophies rather than just battling for a top 6 finish. There are even rumours that Italian side Como are keeping an eye on the situation. But let's be real, Dybala isn't finishing his career at a small club when he still has the chance to test himself in the Premier League. Bottom line, Newcastle have until July 31st to activate the buyout clause, so they need to move fast. The only question is, can they convince Dybala, or will he stay in Italy once again? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Should Dybala move to the Premier League, return to Serie A, or maybe even try La Liga? By the way, over 60% of you are watching from a TV, which makes it harder to like or comment. But it's super important. Just grab your phone, hit the like button, and drop a few words. It really helps the channel. Barcelona have set their sights on Alexander Isak. Yes, you heard that right. Barca want to snatch Newcastle's striker and spark a bidding war with Arsenal. But hold on. Didn't Barcelona have financial problems? How are they even planning to pull this off? Let's start with the facts. Barcelona are looking for a replacement for Lewandowski, who's already 36, and Isak has become their priority target. According to El Chiringuito, talks have already taken place with his representatives, and interestingly enough, Isak himself isn't against the idea of wearing the Blaugrana jersey. But there's one major issue, £150 million to be precise. That's how much Newcastle are demanding for their star striker. Arsenal have been after the Swedish forward for quite some time. Considering that he's been working his magic in Newcastle, 17 goals in 22 Premier League games, it's no surprise that the Gunners also want him in their squad. But can they outbid a potential offer from Barcelona? And this is where things get interesting. Barcelona had already tried to establish contact with Isak's camp back in late 2024. But as we all know, money is always an issue for them. Right now, they can only enter the market if they secure a major sale. In other words, if one of their key players leaves for a big fee, then they can start dreaming about a blockbuster signing. So here's a question for you. Who could Barcelona sell to come up with the £100+ million needed for Isak? Fati? De Jong? Then again, knowing their financial strategies, they'd probably sell the stadium first and then wonder why they have nowhere to play. But let's get back to the main topic, Isak himself. A striker often dubbed the new Zlatan, but without the Guardiola drama. Great technique, blistering pace, clinical finishing, he has all the qualities to be a perfect fit for Barcelona. But the real question is, would he actually want to join a club that's still struggling financially and unable to guarantee him stability right away? By the way, I see that over 80% of viewers watch without subscribing. Let's change that. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any fresh transfer rumours and stay on top of the biggest deals. Now, in theory, if Barcelona somehow managed to scrape together the money and pull off this transfer, would Isak be able to replace Lewandowski? Or will this be yet another case of a high-profile signing getting lost in Barca's tactical chaos? And now, the big question. Who will land Isak in the end? Arsenal or Barcelona? Or could a third contender emerge in this race? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Erik ten Hag to Feyenoord. The media exploded with headlines as if it were already a done deal. Feyenoord are currently 5th in the Eredivisie, far from the level expected after winning the league last season. Brian Prisky, who replaced Arne Slot, failed to meet expectations and was shown the door. And now, out of nowhere, Erik ten Hag appears on the horizon, the man who built a great Ajax, won league titles, and even made Manchester United look somewhat like a real team. But hold on, Ten Hag at Feyenoord. Imagine a legendary Real Madrid coach suddenly taking over at Barcelona. Okay, maybe not exactly the same, but you get the idea. The rivalry between Ajax and Feyenoord fans is not just a football feud, it's a full-blown cultural war. Although, since Ten Hag has now spent time in England, this move wouldn't be as scandalous as if he had gone directly from Amsterdam to Rotterdam. From Feyenoord's perspective, this would be a massive signing. He knows Dutch football inside out, works well with young players, builds attacking teams, and is a true perfectionist. The real question is, would Ten Hag even want this move? After being sacked by United, he's likely aiming for a more ambitious project. But if he wants revenge in the Netherlands and a chance to prove his methods still work, why not? Feyenoord's reason for sacking Prisky is also interesting. They claim the team was too unstable. Well, if stability is what they're after, Ten Hag is a perfect choice. His teams are meticulously structured and every player knows their role down to the smallest detail. And let's not forget, he doesn't tolerate slacking. Remember how he dropped Ronaldo from the squad? Imagine what would happen if someone at Feyenoord decided not to give 100% in training. But there's one issue. This is still just a rumor, backed only by an insider report from AD. Would Ten Hag even consider this move? That remains unclear. But one thing's for sure. If it happens, it will be one of the most shocking and talked about managerial moves in Dutch football in years. So, what do you think? Can Ten Hag turn Feyenoord into a winning machine, or is this just another beautiful speculation?